And Live is on BBC One, 9:15 today, as you heard Angela say, and every morning this week.
Now we're going to talk about looking skyward because a meteor shower promises to be one of the most spectacular astronomical events of the year. Shooting stars blazing across the sky.
And although poor weather conditions so far have prevented the best views, we do have until the end of the month to catch it.
So where do they come from and how are they created? They're created from the dust from Halley's Comet, and the particles travel extremely quickly towards Earth, around 147,600 miles an hour.
They also reach temperatures of more than 1,600 degrees Celsius, leaving what we know as long, glowing tails in the sky. Right, let's talk to Nick Lister, who's the principal of Lawrence House Astronomy and Space Science Centre in Lancashire.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, if only. Nick, lovely to have you with us.
Pleasure to be here.
It has been cloudy, we've seen, and a little bit windy, a little bit of cloud, but there are opportunities to see this. How best can we see this?
The best way, Naga, is first of all, we don't need to panic. This is supposed to be the peak time, really. But as Charlie correctly said, these meteor showers, they operate over several days, often several weeks. You're always going to see a shooting star at any time of the year if you've got the patience to look. But to answer your question, what we need to do is we need to make sure we're dark adapted. So in other words, we need to go outside, we need to make sure there's no street lights, town lights, as few as possible. It's the best thing to do, in all honesty, is to get out into the outback, out into the countryside, wherever that may be. I always say as well, give yourself time to get used to the dark. It's what we call being dark adapted. So give yourself about 20 minutes. People must have noticed if you've gone out on an evening to look at the night sky, it's nice and clear. To begin with, you don't see many stars. And then as you get used to the dark, more and more stars come into view. So that's what you need to do, get yourself nicely dark adapted, away from lights. And the thing is, with the human eye, if you just stand still and you look like that, with your peripheral vision, you can take in half of the sky, to be honest. You're not just looking at a tiny little bit. So you stand there like that. I always suggest you face south, that kind of thing, southeast maybe. Just stand 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're guaranteed to see at least one Naga.
And give us the science. Orionid is what we're talking about. Tell us about what it is. What are we actually seeing?
I'm really glad you said that, actually, Charlie, because it's named the Orionid Meteor shower simply because the direction that these meteors appear to come from is very near a pattern of stars, a constellation of stars called Orion. And a lot of people have heard of Orion because Orion is definitely the prettiest, brightest, most famous constellation in the entire night sky. These Orionid meteors, basically, Charlie and Naga, they are coming from the best part of the night sky all year round. Great excuse for people to go outside and just look at the night sky. Currently, of course, in the pre-dawn sky as well. I saw it coming into work. A few people have seen it as well. We have Venus just hanging in the pre-dawn sky, kind of southeast. It glows so bright, it looks like a diamond hanging in the sky. It can get bright enough to cast a shadow. It's absolutely glorious to look at.
Do you think you could be more enthusiastic?
You've embarrassed me now. Now you have embarrassed me.
No, but it sounds so
I need to keep still,
we know
perhaps.
what you're going to be doing over the next few nights.
Well, is the top tip to lie down and look up? Or what's the top tip?
In all honesty, that's a really good idea. We need an even bigger sheet of cardboard. We were talking about cardboard. You need a full-length piece of cardboard, lie on it so all your body heat doesn't go off into the ground. And of course, if you do that, that's a really good idea. You're going to get the whole sky in your vision, aren't you, really, if you lie down flat. And so 5 or 10 minutes, you're going to see these things. You've got to make a wish if you see them, of course. Sometimes they actually, if they're particularly bright, they'll actually make a noise. You can hear the little object breaking up there in the atmosphere. So
What's the noise like?
Well, it's very interesting. It's not what you'd expect. You see the streak of light, you pause, because it then takes the sound a little while to get to you, and you hear little pops, cracks, whistles, things you wouldn't expect to hear. That's quite rare, but you can see it.
Wow.
Hear it, I should say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Carol's got the weather. Carol.